Hi everyone, Mikey79 here and welcome to this new video, this new deck tech video. So this week the double expansion update finally dropped, so we got some new content and some new cards to play with. Now the update didn't come as we all wished, and meaning with that there are some bugs and there are some problems, and the two most important ones are that if you buy coins for now, then you lose your money but you don't get any coins, so that's pretty awful. And then the other even more serious bug, it's gameplay related, is the whole priority bug. So what that means is that when you get only an instant in your hand, you can't play it in your main phases. Anything that goes at instant speed you can't play in your main phases. Unless you have something at sorcery speed or a creature or a land in your hand, then you can play it, because then it holds priority. But other than that, it's pretty disastrous for instant play decks, like control and everything. But hey, yeah, big problem. I hope they solve it quickly. I doubt it, but I still hope for it. Hakim made a video of it. You should check it out. I shall put a link in the description box below. You guys just let us know what you think. Go to NGA, go to Reddit, let Stainless and Wizards know what you think. It's pretty awful and we hope it all works out for the best, but releasing a game with so many bugs, because there are lots of other bugs other than those two, it's actually pretty disastrous. And yeah, so I decided to stay and make content. We've waited a long time for this expansion and not playing it or making any content for it. Yeah, it's not an option for me, so I will stay and make decks and content for you guys. What I'm not going to do is I am not going to buy any coins. So for now, with the coins that I had, I finished the collection from Innistrad, Shadows of Innistrad. So I still need 2 boosters or something, and then that collection is finished. But I still need all the cards of Out of the Gatewatch, and I wanted to buy some, but since with all the problems, I don't think Wizards or Stainless deserves my money, and I hope you guys feel the same way. Just wait with spending coins until everything is fixed, or at least all priority is fixed. And especially guys, don't buy coins now, because they're still working on it. You won't receive any coins and you have to go to customer service and everything, so that's a pain. Now, okay, enough with the talk about that anyway. So welcome to this new deck tech video, and as you can see, I built it myself a Werewolves deck. It's pretty straightforward, of course. Whoops, it is a Werewolves deck, but it is pretty fun though. Now, the upside of this deck, it doesn't play many instants, so with that in mind, it's pretty fun. So just gonna go through the deck first. It's all new cards, everything is almost new except for a few. So yeah, if you guys, I don't know if everyone knows Innistrad, so we're back to Innistrad, and Innistrad introduced us to transform cards. So, and those were always almost always with werewolves. So this one is a fine example. The Keswick Forge Master is not a bad card. You get a 2/1 for 2, which is okay. But when a creature blocks or gets blocked by this creature, then Keswick Forge Master deals 1 damage to that creature, which is a pretty good early game to get rid of all the weenies without your creature ending up dead. So, and when you can transform it, that counts for all werewolves. The mechanic is the same for every one of them. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform. So, and if you transform him, you get this one, the Flame Heart Werewolf, and then instead of 1 damage, he deals 2 to a blocked creature. Yeah. So pretty decent card already for a 2 cost. Yeah. Then 3 copies of the Duskwatch Recruiter. Also same mechanic, so he's a 2/2 this time for 2 mana. It's okay. And then for 3 mana you can look at the top 3 cards and you can get a creature card into your hand. Now that's a pretty neat ability because typically in this is a kind of an aggro deck, so typically you lose space and you run out of cards. So this card counters that a bit, which is pretty nice. And when you can flip him, when you can transform him, you get a 3/3 and all your creature spell cost 1 less. Now that's pretty nice too, but the downside on werewolves, playing werewolves, is when a player casts 2 spells, then your werewolf goes back into a little puppy. So yeah, it's good that it costs 1 less, but on the other hand you don't want them to flip back to the Duskwatch. Although in this case it's not that bad because then you can go fetch a creature. So yeah, it's always two-sided with werewolves, and this card isn't any different. Whoops! Oh god. Alright. So we get the Holt pacifist. What a name. Okay, so this one can't attack unless you get a creature with power 4. Okay, that's a downside, but the plus side is that you get a 3/3 for 2 mana, which is pretty good. And normally it shouldn't be a problem to get a creature with 4 power. With all those wolves around, they're pretty strong. So, and when he flips, and he can flip perfectly in your turn or in your opponent's turn, and then he doesn't suffer of the downside anymore, so he becomes a 4/4 vanilla actually. So pretty decent. It's a bit, yeah, it's a bit less aggro, but it's still okay for its mana cost. Then the Hinterland Cloture for 2 mana, you get a 2/1, very straightforward, and when he transforms you get a 4/2 with trample. Nothing special, just to fill the deck. Then the Twin Bolt, yeah, this one is an old card that everybody knows by now, but I wanted some burn to finish the opponent off, or to get the creatures out of the way. Now I noticed I already played this deck quite a bit, and I did notice that there are a lot of creatures now with 1 toughness. Vampires, zombies, werewolves, white weenie. They're all 1 toughness. So Twin Bolt, it was already a good card and it even became better, although that's my opinion. Then we get a bandit right here. Now this card is pretty awesome. You pay 3 and you get a 3/2 haste. That's already pretty nice. But when you can get him to transform, that's the really sweet thing. He transforms into Vildin Pack Alpha, and then you get a 4/3 werewolf. But when you play another wolf, which we obviously play, then you can choose to transform that one immediately when he enters the battlefield, and that's pretty strong. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then the Breakneck Rider, 3 mana we get a 3/3, which is already decent. You do need 2 red mana. The 3/3 plain vanilla, nothing special, but when he transforms, He gives attacking creatures +1 and trample, which is also very nice because you can get your damage through even if they block. So pretty decent card too. Then we get a wolf warrior. It's already a wolf, so it's not a werewolf. He doesn't transform, so that's a bit of the odd one in the bunch, but he's also pretty decent. I didn't get, like I said, I playtested quite a bit, but I didn't get any value out of it so far. I mean, not that much. It does have trample, but yeah, a 2/2 it doesn't, yeah, not that big of a body. But whenever a wolf or a werewolf you control becomes the target of an instant or a sorcery, you get a 2/2 green wolf, which is pretty decent. Now, when this one is on the board and they are going to target him with a twin ball or a fairy impulse or whatever, it's probably going to spend on this one, and you get a 2/2, so it actually he replaces himself a bit. But other than that, if they target another werewolf instead of this one, yeah, then he's becoming a pretty valuable card, but the chance that's going to happen is very slim, I guess. But it is a decent card. Then another decent card is this one, the Hermit of the Nether Knolls or Knolls or whatever. Is a 2/3 for 3, which isn't too impressive, but when an opponent casts a spell during your turn, which will happen with every instant because you can't play them in your own main phase, you get to draw a card. So that's pretty good. Like I said, werewolves run dry after a while. They don't have much card advantage, so this helps it a bit, and even get even more nuts when you get him transformed. Then you get to draw 2 cards when he casts a spell, not only instant. I think it was. Oh no, it was a spell here too. I thought it was instant or sorcery, but it's just a spell. So yeah, awesome. I do say I normally creatures and all that crap can't play on your turn, but with the madness and everything going on and flash, it is possible, so it is relevant. But this is a very decent card. Then I decided to put Retreat to Valakut in the deck, and that's paid off actually. I only played 2 copies, but getting a target creature not to block is pretty strong with wolves. Pretty nice. Then something to buff our wolves, the hullback resurgence. The enchantment that you can flash in, pretty damn good. And every wolf gets +1/+1 and trample. Very strong, good card, and element of surprise because of the flash. Very good. It's only +1/+1, but most of the time it's enough. Then I decided to play 2 copies of the firecrafts. Still love this card, still one of the better burn cards out there, and yeah, I just love the 4 damage to finish my opponent off. Then the Planeswalker right here, Arlene Court, a new one. She's also a wolf, so if we do the +1, she gives a target creature +2/+2 and vigilance and haste. If we do the 0 cost, we get a 2/2 green wolf, so she protects herself a bit. And then she transforms, and when she transforms, she becomes Arlene the Embraced by the Moon. Yeah, so she actually has 5 abilities that you can play around with. So the +1 on this side gives +1/+1 to all your creatures, and they gain trample. So it's a bit like the enchantment there. Then the -1, you can deal 3 damage to a creature or player, but then you have to flip her back. Then she comes back to this one. Okay. That being said, the -6, you get an emblem with creatures you control have haste, and you can tap them and this creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. To be honest, the -6 I haven't used it yet because usually I won't get her up that high. The game is already finished by then. Then yeah, I still played this one, but I'm still doubting it a bit. I think I will let it go eventually. Wolf of Devil's Bridge. It is a 5/5 for a 5, but yeah, and you can discard a card and pay 2 if you attack, and then you can yeah, you can burn something away eventually. You deal damage to a planeswalker or a creature equal to the discarded card's mana cost. So not a bad card, not great either. It is 5 mana, it is already a bit expensive. You do get a 5/5. I play this for the body actually, to get something big on the field. And it's not bad, but it's not. You can leave this one out, and if you prefer something else to play, I would probably ditch this one. Now this one I won't ditch. It's the Sage of Ancient Lore. Now his power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. That's already yeah, okay, because by the time you're at 5 mana, you will normally you won't have many cards left in your hand with wolves. Now with that being said, you do draw a card from this one when he enters the battlefield, and if he transforms, I always say flip, but it's transform, we get a Werewolf of Ancient Hunger, and this one has vigilance and trample, and his power and toughness are equal to all the players' hands, so he gets much bigger. Now I don't see wolves playing in two-headed giant per se, but yeah, do you need to play wolves with this card? No, it's a nice card to play, and I think you can play it in other decks too. You don't have to specifically play it with wolves. So in two-headed giant, I think this is a pretty nutty card actually. And at the beginning, yeah, you must transform him back if an opponent played 2 or more spells, or you did. Okay, so that's it for the deck itself. Then the mana base: 4 mountains, 8 forests, 2 cinder glades, 2 cracks. I do play this one, the Looming Spires. I like it in this deck, and the Evolving Wilds to thin the deck out a bit. Now if we see to the curve, not bad. We do not have a 1-drop unfortunately, but we do have a bunch of 2-drops and 3-drops, and then yeah, 1 4-drop and a few 5-drops. So the curve is quite alright. We're almost quite equally in red and in green spells. And yeah, I was surprised because yeah, I don't like to play archetypes actually like this. Usually your options are pretty limited, but it's not top tier. Let me be clear about that. I think I lost as much games that I've won with this deck, so but it's pretty damn fun, and yeah, you can do a bunch of damage in one turn. It's pretty neat. So I hope I got you guys going for this first deck of the expansion, and I hope I see you guys in the gameplay video. Sorry for the speech here. I was talking pretty bad, but I'm pretty tired. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I see you guys next time. Bye bye.